Welcome back in. It's hour number 2 of Three Man Front on this Reaction Monday. Alabama getting ready for the CFP coming up on Friday. We've already been to Oklahoma, get a preview of that game. Also, Nick Kelly, who covers the Alabama Crimson Tide, he joined us at 10:15, giving us his thoughts on the Kalen DeBoer statement. And we want to further investigate this statement and what that potentially means, if anything, with the Michigan coaching search. And joining us now from the Michigan Insider, part of the 247 Network, is Sam Webb. And Sam joins us now on the Higginbotham Hotline. Sam, I'm sure it's a very balmy weather temperature up there in the great state of Michigan right now.
Yeah, it's balmy. I guess that's the way you could put, like 12 or 13 degrees or whatever it is outside right now.
Oh,
pretty doggone cold.
Well,
I guess that's the wind chill maybe. So it's pretty cold outside.
Well, I will tell you, it got to low 20s overnight here in Birmingham, and all of us are dying. So we.
Oh yeah. Geez, that's like Arctic weather for you guys.
It sure is.
Sam, want to lead off. It does seem that Kalen DeBoer has been the most prominent name that we've seen so far in the early stages of this Michigan head football coaching search. I do want to ask right now, in the aftermath of what's going on with Sharon Moore, how much of this blindsided Michigan insiders, how much of it blindsided the fan base, just to the extent of what had been going on?
Yeah, I think his blindsided is a good term. I think the dismissal blindsided everyone. To say that the rumors were new would be, I think that'd be a misnomer. I think the rumors had been percolating for some time, but as has since come out, there were rumors that were investigated back in the summer. You had clearly, as has now come to the surface, vigorous denials by both Sharon and the staffer. And then you had the investigation that could not find anything to the contrary, could not find anything to sort of refute their denials. And so things went on. You had people who would say and people who would think, but nothing that could disprove or prove that anything was going on. So you just thought everything would be, whatever rumors were just rumors. And then, boom, out of nowhere, I mean, literally out of nowhere, Wednesday afternoon, just got a call that said he's been fired. What are you talking about? What could have happened so abruptly that would have had him be fired? After they had an investigation already, after there have been rumors, there could only have been one thing, and really there was only one thing, and that was she went in and she changed her story, and she divulged that there had actually been an affair, and once Michigan heard that was it. They fired him on the spot.
Sam Webb joins us here on Three Man Front from Michigan Insider, part of the 247 Network. So he is fired, and immediately saw you do the interview with my good friend Paul Feinbaum, and you have continued to write over the weekend that Kalen DeBoer was one of the top names on this coaching search. Did yesterday's statement released by Alabama and by Kalen DeBoer, did that kind of maybe send that off the path of Kalen DeBoer, or do you think that that's still a possible name that they're interested in?
I mean, I don't know how I should answer that. I don't want to fan the flames, but here's what I'll say. I think in that situation, you say what you got to say. I think if you look at his time at Washington, this to me is very similar. There was an extension on the table. You had at that time a Michigan job that wasn't open, but was likely to be open. And, there was interest, I was hearing at that time, in Michigan. And he did not sign that extension. They even upped the ante on that extension. They had signed him to an extension after the 22 season when he went 11-2. They put another extension on the table Thanksgiving, which he didn't sign. Then there was a lot of buzz about, hey, there could be other jobs opening up and whatnot. They get into the Sugar Bowl against Texas. They increase the money, and he makes a statement, "I'm a dog," and all of that. He doesn't sign that extension either, and say, "Hey, I'm Washington all the way," and Michigan is still open, but that's when Bama comes in, and boom, and you got him. So again, I think he's totally committed to Bama. I think he is absolutely focused on the game. I think there's not a signed extension with Alabama. So as long as that's the case, you can be focused on Alabama and not planning on talking to any other school. And I think another school can be targeting you. So if something happens where the season's over on Saturday, that other school can come in and try to talk to you at that point.
Sam, with all due respect, and you know this by covering the program right now, the perception, at least from not only here, but I think some folks nationally of this Michigan athletic department, it's not a good one. It paints a pretty grim picture, just given some of the recent events, especially with the football program. With all of that, this internal investigation, who is leading this internal investigation, and what is the expected timeline of when this could be concluded?
Yeah, so you have a couple of things at play. The internal investigation was actually brought on by the Board of Regents. They are looking into they're looking into all of the things that have happened. So you had the recruiting violations during the Harbaugh era. You had the sign gate thing as well. You had some hiring background checks that didn't get done. A series of things that they are trying to see if that will cause them to get the AD out. That's what that's all about. I think you've had for some time some members of the Board of Regents who have been looking to try to get the AD out. So there's a power struggle as far as that's concerned. And that has to be weighed. I mean, for whatever coaching candidate looks at it, they have to look at it and say, hey, do I want to check out the lay of the land there and have that be part of my reality? I mean, that could be a deterrent. I'm not, you don't have to sugarcoat that. I don't know if that's going to be a deterrent for anyone because, the fact remains, you're going to have a donor base that is going to be absolutely huge. You're going to have who's ever running the department for you is going to have, I think, a support base around you that is second to none. And you are going to be as a football coach, from a fan base perspective, I think they're going to look at you as the modern day. I don't want to make a religious reference, but you aren't following a legend. I mean, they are going to be worshiping your feet based on what they are coming off of. It's much different than the situation that Kalen faces right now following Nick freaking Saban, or that he would have faced if he were following Jim Harbaugh. It's so much harder when you're following a legend. But when you're coming off of following what he'd be following here, I mean, you can't do any wrong. I don't care who you might be working under. You could be working under a fan as the AD. You can't do any wrong when you're following a coach who was fired in shame. It's going to be a great situation for you, whoever the next coach is going to be.
Sam Webb is joining us for a few more minutes from Michigan Insider, part of the 247 Network, as we're talking about the potential of Kalen DeBoer. Kalen DeBoer, his name continues to be mentioned for the position of that job. All right, so let's talk about, if it's not Kalen DeBoer, give us some other names potentially on the list. I saw Kenny Dillingham's name, but now he supposedly might have an extension, just like maybe Kalen DeBoer, but nothing has been signed. What are some other names, can you tell us, that might be in that pipeline if Kalen DeBoer is a no-go?
Hey, so you just nailed it with Kenny Dillingham. His sister stays next door to him. His wife stays down the street. He's an Arizona State alum. He loves Arizona State. That extension is not signed. I mean, he's still in play. I don't care what he said publicly. So, um, they have agents for a reason, and so that's how I look at that. So he's a name. Another one similar to that is Jeff Brown of Louisville, an alum, a guy who you don't hear a whole lot about, but who has won everywhere he's been, from Western Kentucky to Purdue. Michigan fans, their most recent interaction with him is Michigan beat them in the Big Ten championship game, took Purdue to the Big Ten championship game, went back home to Louisville where they've won 8 games every year. He's been there, but it's Louisville. So he's had some success there. Not, playoff success, but success nonetheless. Really, really good offensive mind. And they've been talking extension for a long time, but it's not signed. So he's another name. Eli Drinkwitz. The search firm has connected with him. He recently signed a 6-year extension, but his buyout didn't change. That's the difference between him and all of these other guys who recently leveraged interest from all these other schools into contract extensions. His buyout remained the same. So he has a great agent. His buyout is only $5 million. So his is another name, and then one more that I would mention would be Jed Fish. He was previously a coach at Michigan. I think he would crawl over hot flames and broken glass to come back to Ann Arbor. So out of Washington, I think he's another name you could look at.
As far as timeline, Sam, that you see with a hire being made, what's the expected timeline? I know it's tough for you to tell, but ideally, when would Michigan want to have their head coach in place?
I think ideally you would want a coach hired before Christmas. I mean, you want to be in play with your coach before the portal opens so you can lock down your roster and be ready to go portal shopping. That's the ideal scenario. Now, will it actually work out ideally for Michigan? I don't know. They're hopeful, but timing has to work out for them. I mean, I hate to say this, being on Birmingham radio, but they got to be Sooner fans this week because that will help things shake out. However, they're going to shake out with Kalen, whether that means he's staying at Bama or he's in play for them, but it will at least bring some clarity to their picture, and so that means they can focus more of their attention elsewhere or whatever. But they will at least know for sure what's up with Kalen.
So for those that are just tuned into this interview, you firmly believe that Kalen DeBoer is still in play at Michigan?
I firmly believe that Michigan thinks that Kalen DeBoer is still in play for Michigan. So I'll put it that way. So we aren't putting anything on Kalen. I firmly think that Michigan thinks that Kalen DeBoer is still in play for Michigan.
Very well said. Sam, we appreciate your time. We will continue, obviously, following your website and your story very closely. Happy holidays. Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Sam Webb, you heard it, folks. There's the headline. He joined us on the Higginbotham hotline. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
We'll hear from Kalen DeBoer at 1 o'clock. Be interesting to see if he's asked anything about the potential of him leaving for Michigan. Get to your phone calls, your texts as well. Reaction Monday here on Three Man Front continues.
11:18 here on Jocks. This is Reaction Monday. Pat, Molly, Landrum with you. Conrad back in studio on Wednesday. Don't forget, we will be live tomorrow. Social Taco, come on by and see us. We'll be there from 10 until 2. We will not be live the next Tuesday there from Social Taco. So your last opportunity to bring your gifts to Landrum tomorrow, beginning at 10 o'clock.
Yes, right. Bring them all to Pat. Pat wants a lot of gifts.
Please do.
Well, this time of year especially, you don't want to get caught in the cold, so schedule your system checkup now from a trained comfort specialist. Train has been recognized for 11 consecutive years as America's most trusted HVAC brand and our exclusive home comfort partners here at Jock. So go and visit train.com to find a comfort specialist near you.
All right, so what'd you think? Sam Webb, what he just told us.
It seems more like wishful thinking to me, with all due respect, from the Michigan side, not from Sam, but from the Michigan side of things. And that's what it felt like to me, that Michigan really hopeful. There's still that, however many, there's that sliver of hope that you could go and get a Kalen DeBoer, but I didn't give it any more credence than I did Penn State when we had Audrey on.
There are some in the industry that swear that the Penn State thing was a little bit more serious than people reported.
Yeah.
I definitely think Jimmy Sexton probably had some conversations with Michigan. But I'm like Nick. I don't think that statement comes out yesterday unless all parties involved are on the same page.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Sexton, he's going to listen to a lot of people. I don't think it's just
that's his
Michigan.
job.
Yeah, that's his job. And ultimately, if Kalen DeBoer gets a contract extension, maybe a bump, whatever he feels like he needs there at Alabama, that's what Jimmy Sexton does.
I mean, he's signed through 2031. So we did ask the Twitter poll question today. Molly, it had to do with Kalen DeBoer's statement that came out and whether our audience believed it or not.
Yep. And we'll get to that Twitter poll question in just a little bit. 800-239-WJOX or the text line 205-834-9450. This one rolls in. I've heard Pat say coaches lie, and I believe that's true. Also remember the conversation about boosters looking to sack DeBoer if he lost in Georgia in September. If Bama loses Friday, you will not convince me that DeBoer doesn't look to go to Michigan. That was interesting how Sam framed that, though. That Michigan fans should be Oklahoma fans pulling for Oklahoma to beat Alabama, that maybe that changes either from the DeBoer side of things, maybe his willingness to be able to listen.
Are Alabama people going to be disappointed because you lost in the college football playoff? Absolutely.
I think
you're going to be, but are you going to be so irate that you're going to be calling for his head? He got you to the college football playoff. I mean, if he had not gotten them, I mean, he won 10 games during the regular season. He got to Atlanta, played one of the best teams in the country. I mean,
how many Alabama fans expect Alabama to get to the championship game with this team? I don't think it's a whole lot. We had one of those Twitter poll questions. If I can remember correctly, it was mid to high 30s that believed that Alabama was going to be one and done, win one game, but the lowest was actually making the championship game, competing for a title.
As of right now,
so that should answer your question.
64% of our audience, they believe his statement. 36% says they do not. All coaches lie.
Well, true. This one reads, they were irate over a hoodie. Talking about the Alabama folks that wanted him out at the loss to Georgia. Kenny from Bessemer, if you agree, guys, if Alabama beats Oklahoma, Coach DeBoer is out of play going to Michigan because let's see. The next games begins January 1st. Transfer portal open January 2nd, and Michigan would want to coach before that portal opens up. That's why I asked Sam about the timeline. He said, ideally, yeah, you'd like to have that in place, but making all of that work. Kenny Dillingham, he's not doing anything. Neither is Eli Drinkwitz. Neither is Jeff Brom.
So here's the thing, and I mean, we've detailed many, many times on the show, or at least I have, about how all coaches are liars. So then it comes down to
all human beings are liars.
Well, that is true, but
Well, yes.
So do you believe a statement from Kalen DeBoer that says he and his family, they're happy, he's just focused at Alabama? Or do you listen to Kenny Dillingham, who went to Arizona State, whose family lives down the street from him in one of the worst cities in America, Tempe, Arizona? Do you believe that? Or you see what I'm saying?
Or Jeff Brom. Isn't Jeff Brom where he wants to be?
His alma mater?
Yeah.
Louisville? I mean, you tell me, Molly. You spent a lot of time at Ann Arbor or Tempe?
Tempe's a little warmer, I would say. If that's what you're looking for. Really different city.
Both have bright yellow in their color scheme.
They do.
Mm-hmm. They do.
But if you don't want to, shovel your driveway, I'd maybe go to Tempe.
With that kind of money, you have heated driveway.
Well, that's true.
So I've heard.
So, I mean, you heard what Sam said. I mean, he basically said, that Kelly Dillingham's in play.
Michael in Huntsville, thanks for listening. He said that Sam Webb was just throwing stuff against the window to see if it would stick. He's reporting things that he's hearing. That's his job.
Mm-hmm. He's also sticking behind his sources because if you read his behind the paywall information, he's been very steadfast in his belief on this coaching search and where it's heading.
Pat B sends this in. He says, I thought this was interesting in the first 2 years. Bear Bryant, 12-6-3. Gene Stallings, 18-6. Saban, 19-8. And DeBoer, 19-7. Brian Kelly could have probably jumped to Penn State. Instead, he got canned, and now he can't get a job. Is he trying to get a job? Is Brian Kelly actively trying to get a job after getting paid $54 million?
Yeah, I think that $50+ million he's getting, I think he's good.
Must be nice. You going to look for another job? No. I think just I'll look at compound interest and weekly, see how much my account grows. Elite coaches don't lose 4 games a year. Next catch.
All right, so let's just play this out. He leaves to Michigan. Who's Alabama hiring? You said elite coaches don't lose 4 games a year. Who are you going to get?
I'm going to call Dan Lanning's guy first.
Okay.
Say, hey, is Dan available?
That's a quick conversation.
That's a quick conversation. No. Tommy Rees.
Well, I mean, we know that's a heck yes. I'll be in Tuscaloosa by 5:00.
But you're saying other guys that we consider elite,
right? I mean, because the texter
it's a small list.
Yeah, I mean, the texter just said that if you lose 4 games a year, you're not an elite coach. Okay, well,
Dabo's not considered elite anymore, right?
Who's
by other people's standards that we've heard. Dabo, no. That's a hard no. That's what we've heard on Dabo.
I think Marcus Freeman's probably more likely to go to the NFL than go to another college team.
Right.
Lincoln Riley, he's not an elite coach anymore, right?
No. What's Lane Kiffin's deal at LSU?
Has he signed it?
Has he signed it?
Start that rumor.
Desperate times, Pat. Call for desperate measures.
I don't think Greg Byrne, just like he was 2 years ago, he is not going to hire Lane Kiffin. I mean, he had his opportunity.
Yes,
That's the thing that gets me. All these people, all these rumors that was started a couple of weeks ago. Well, it's Lane's trying to drag his feet because he, if Kalen
D'Amico Ryans.
Now D'Amico, NFL or Mama called. Once again, you want to deal with the headache of college football right now, or you want to?
I don't.
Be in the NFL. You be in the NFL.
It's a headache enough, and we just talk about it.
So that's my point. That's the thing. I mean, I don't think Greg Byrne, based on the people that I talked to, even the Auburn game, I did not sense that anybody was looking to fire Kalen DeBoer. Because you look around the marketplace and you see who potentially is available. And it's not very exciting. Period.
Think about this. Eli Drinkwitz. Think about his name and how many jobs that he has been in the mix for. We're talking about Eli Drinkwitz at Missouri.
Was not good enough at Auburn. Wasn't good enough at LSU. Florida was not good enough. But now all of a sudden he's good enough for Michigan?
His name, and we don't know how far the conversations got with the Penn State job. His name was linked there.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes back to, who do you consider elite now? Brian Kelly? All right, it doesn't seem like that's an option. Great question.
Well, I can
probably why Kalen DeBoer is going to get a contract extension.
I can tell you one coach that is potentially going to be back on the sideline very, very soon. Don't know if he'll be a coordinator or a head coach, but an Alabama judge has just granted former Tennessee head coach Jeremy Pruitt an injunction against the NCAA, preventing the NCAA from enforcing its show cause order or interfering with his employment opportunities.
I agree with it 100%.
So that is a big win for Jeremy Pruitt. So Jeremy, who was going to be an analyst, it was going to be kind of in a reserved role based on what the NCAA said that he could do at Jacksonville State. But Charles Kelly was bringing him in as an analyst. And so now he has just won an injunction by an Alabama judge against the NCAA. So we'll see where this leads now if Jeremy Pruitt ends up being a coach again.
I know what he did was wrong and against the rules at the time, but I feel like you need to take into account what has transpired since that time. And I believe that Jeremy Pruitt deserves to be able to have the opportunity to coach football again at the collegiate level. Good for that judge. I mean, based on what he did.
I agree.
Some of the other coaches that, until it was exposed and came to light and seen by the public, how many of their deep, dark secrets have been kept hidden by their bosses?
No doubt.
That's a good win. Would Alabama try to hire Curt Cignetti, one of our listeners text in?
Would Alabama be willing to give him the same deal or more than what Indiana's given him, which is incredible?
Yeah, I saw the house that he bought in Bloomington. Pretty nice.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
No. It's 9,500 square feet of living space. Only $2.6 million.
It's a good buy.
That is a good buy.
I mean, it's not Charles Kelly good buy in Tuscaloosa.
No, but he's got his own private tennis court, basketball court outside. You think Cignetti plays a lot of golf?
It doesn't strike me as a golfer. Doesn't strike me. He's part of the Hugh Freeze Tour.
Cignetti actually strikes me as a guy that would go down to the local gym and just try to play pickup basketball. What are your thoughts on Matt Campbell going to Alabama? That's the next question.
Once again, has his deal been signed? That's always the caveat.
If Alabama wants to keep DeBoer so bad, why don't they offer him an extension now? Well,
I mean, he's got an 8-year deal through 2031.
Felt pretty good about that when he signed it.
I mean, the whole conversation, it was like the Penn State rumors. It's like you didn't have to take the Alabama job. Like, you did not have to take the job after the greatest college football coach in history. Like, you did not have to take that job. But he wanted the pressure. He wanted to come in. He wanted to coach at Alabama. Why would he be looking to get out after 2 years? Like, what have the fans done that has made his life miserable in Tuscaloosa? That's just what I don't see. We'll continue with your text, your calls as well. This is Reaction Monday on Jocks. It is 11:36 on this Reaction Monday. 1-800-239-WJOX. Reminder, we'll be live tomorrow. Social Taco, come on out and see us. We'll be there from 10 until 2. Abide Roofing offers tailored roofing solutions for every need, whether it's your family home or a commercial building. Abide Roofing delivers custom solutions that match your specific needs and style. Abide is a team that brings their A game. Their crew of highly skilled pros works with precision and pride, delivering top-notch results on every job. It's safety first with Abide, always using the latest tools that following the highest safety standards. They keep everyone and everything protected from start to finish. 25 plus years of trusted experience with decades of combined industry knowledge. Abide Roofing offers that expertise and confidence to every project and warranties that are giving you the peace of mind. That's what happened when I needed a brand new roof a couple years ago. I went to Abide, and Abide gave me that peace of mind. They dealt with my insurance company. They were able to get me a new roof, but all the materials used and, of course, the warranties gives me the peace of mind of moving forward because the craftsmanship was outstanding. No-cost consultations and estimates. Start your roofing journey with a free consultation and estimate. No obligation, just solid advice. Ready to get started? Call Abide Roofing today. 205-577-7338. That's 205-577-7338. That's abideroof.com.
Sorry, when we were coming up with our list of who would replace Kalen DeBoer at Alabama, who would some of the first phone calls be? We did not mention Glenn Schumann, but that has been a popular name that has been out there for a long time. Never been a head coach at the college level. But he's got ties to Alabama, Pat.
Yes, he does.
That's what's the most important.
Yes.
We've learned that over the years, right?
Yep. When fax machines used to be a thing and people would fax in, whether it was going to be Woody McCorvey or Mike Dubose. And Mike Dubose won the fax campaign. They did win an SEC championship.
They did.
But they also had some other
They went 3-9.
Yeah, some other things that happened during that tenure. Yeah.
How's it go?
It was a tremendous opportunity. Right now, Las Vegas said that Jed Fish is the overwhelming favorite to be the next head coach of the Michigan Wolverines at 4-7 odds. Kenny Dillingham at 2-1. Kalen DeBoer and Biff Poggi. How would you like to be on the same list as Biff Poggi at 7-1 odds?
Bama fans, you think you got a problem with what Kalen DeBoer wears?
Now, I did read one of Sam Webb.
Get you some of that.
Who was on the program at 11 o'clock, one of his teammates at the website, he had a story over the weekend that there had been a growing sentiment. Biff Poggi is loved by a lot of apparent heavy donors at Michigan.
Isn't he the heaviest donor?
Possibly.
This guy that's in charge of got this big hedge fund. Isn't that how he made his mark? Investments?
Believe so. Saban was making fun of all the fancy cars he has.
Oh. Well.
Like Saban doesn't.
Yeah.
But Tommy Rees, man, he has 25-1 odds of being the next Michigan head coach. I got to look up and see who Tommy Rees's agent is.
Yeah, he's got a good one.
I mean, every time you turn around, Tommy Rees's name.
That's the name.
He's at Cleveland now, right?
Yes.
Isn't he the offensive coordinator of the Browns?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, that sounds right. He's getting that Bama bump, baby.
Isn't that right? Let me check this out. Let me see if that's correct.
He's in the NFL.
Yes, he is the offensive coordinator of the Cleveland Browns.
Right, there you go.
That was a great job yesterday against the Bears.
Maybe he'll get the Chiefs job. That thing comes open. Yeah. Now that they're not going to the playoffs.
Yeah, that thing's unraveling quickly there in the wonderful city of Kansas City. We told you earlier that DJ Lagway is going into the transfer portal. And I was reading a report that says that he had his initial meeting with John Summerall and the offensive staff.
Did not go well?
It did not go well at all, to the point to where he's like, I'm out. Toodles. See ya. Out. So now Baylor, LSU, two names of interest.
Interesting.
Potentially. And Lane Kiffin's already he's already retweeted DJ Lagway in the portal. So
what did you think about Diego Pavia, his disrespect over the weekend?
Did not shock me in the very least.
You think that you think with some voters that's part of the reason? We had somebody cite sportsmanship that was a Heisman voter.
He said
character, sportsmanship.
Yeah. Well, he said F all the voters, but family for life. So out of 930 ballots, Mendoza collected 643 first-place votes compared to Pavia's 189. Now, he did go to social media yesterday and apologize.
He did. And it just seems like that's a lot of Diego Pavia's personality. But 15 years from now, some people will think that Diego Pavia won the Heisman Trophy. Others won't care. But I think that Diego Pavia and his name, as far as college football lore, it has the potential to be greater than Fernando Mendoza. Now, Mendoza, we'll see what he does in the playoffs. If he wins a national title, that'll be one thing. But it's hard not to like Fernando Mendoza if you watched his acceptance speech.
Oh, there's no question. He's an impressive individual. I do want to point this out for you, though. So Mendoza, 71% completion rate, okay? Right at 3,000 yards passing, 33 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 13 games. Out of those 13 games, he only played 2 ranked opponents the whole time. I want to take you back to 2020, Kyle Trask at Florida.
Mm-hmm.
He had 2% less completion percentage than Mendoza. He had over 1,300 more yards passing than Mendoza. He had 10 more touchdowns than Mendoza. He threw 2 interceptions more than Mendoza. He played in 12 games, and he played 4 ranked opponents, and Kyle Trask did not even come close to winning the Heisman Trophy. But he had better numbers overwhelmingly than Mendoza.
Yeah.
It's all about the year.
It's all about the year.
It's all about the year. It's all about the fact that, Mendoza played on an undefeated team that won the Big Ten championship, whereas Kyle Trask didn't play in an undefeated team that won an SEC
I know it
title.
breaks from tradition, but it does seem like, and I'm not a Heisman voter, but it seems like there are some years where maybe it's just better off where, you know what, we're not going to award it this year. Has there ever been any thought of that?
No. Mm-mm.
Has it not felt like it to you, though?
I mean, some years more than others.
Like, really?
Honestly, I did not have a problem with who won it.
No, not this year. I'm just saying there's some years that are more lackluster when you look at the field and you're like, well, guess if I had to vote for one, I'd vote for him. But just guys that don't stand out. I don't know. Just pass the thought.
I thought it was a really good group. When you look at the breakdown of how it all went down, Mendoza won all 6 regions for the Heisman Trophy. That's the first time that since Caleb Williams did it in 2022 that happened. No big surprise. The closest was the South. That's where Pavia had his biggest group. He just won by 75 votes in the South. So a lot of people voted for Pavia over Mendoza. But Mendoza is the 7th transfer to win the award in the last 9 years. I saw a stat the other night, where it was 2-3 years ago, when Washington State with Cam Ward at quarterback played Mendoza at California.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yep.
How those two guys in the old Pac-12 battled against each other, and then both of them won the Heisman.
Produce some good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
It's funny now we look at these transfer portal journeys for some of these players, where they started, where they are now, and that will only continue. Somebody texted him, Diego Pavia is a dollar store Manziel. Interesting. Different skill set in some ways.
But if you read the social media of Pavia yesterday, you could tell his social media PR team.
They wrangled him in. They're like, no.
No, we're changing.
We don't have the blanket of another year of college football. Like we got to start looking towards the future, and this is not going to help you. Let's reel this back in. Jimmy says, speaking of Bloomington, have y'all seen the movie Breaking Away? Great sports movie from around 1979. Has young co-stars Dennis Quaid and Daniel Stern.
I have not seen it.
Hadn't seen it. What was the Dan Aykroyd movie? What was this? Was it the Celtic Pride?
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Stern was in. Also, you will know Daniel Stern from the Home Alone movies.
Mm-hmm.
Plays one of the sticky or wet bandits, depending on which version you were watching. 11:47 here on the show. Sorry, I was just trying to communicate. If we still needed a break, I lost my time. Apparently, we do. We'll continue.
It is 10 minutes in front of the hour. Hope you're having a wonderful Monday. You got all your shopping done? You done?
Are you kidding? No.
No?
I'm going to spend Saturdays kind of my start day. I like to do a lot of the brick and mortar. My wife has given me some ideas and things that I have to order or need to order, I guess.
Better
I don't
hurry.
have to, but I want to. So, did that sound good? Yeah. It was good. Have you ever roasted chestnuts?
I have not.
I didn't either. Just always hear it. It's like, man, did I put that on the list, like, of things to do? Because we always hear it, roasting a chestnut. Where do you
I don't know.
yeah. Chestnut trees. They grow here natural. Are they indigenous to the area?
I'm not a nut expert.
Nor am I. I know the salted peanuts that we have in the Jocks Cafe. We're out of those. If anyone's listening, we need to replenish.
I mean, Conrad's our nut expert on the show. So with him not being here. Who's that laughing?
John Saber is still here.
Oh, yeah, that was John laughing.
You got a reaction from John.
Yeah, John and I had a great afternoon yesterday afternoon doing the UAB basketball game.
Yeah, that was a heartbreaker. I would have been right there with you, but I had a conflict. That was tough. That's a tough way to lose.
You know, I was going to ask Sam. We were so obviously football oriented, but I wanted to ask Sam about Yax Lindeborg because he's having quite a year with the rest of his teammates there.
Yes, he is. Yeah, they are quite good.
Yeah, very good.
Money can buy you a really good roster,
And I that's probably what they're telling all these coaches that they're talking to in football. Hey, look, see what we're doing for Dusty May over here?
Yeah,
we can do that for you.
We'll do it for you.
Yeah, come on.
Plenty of money.
Yep. Ready to spend it.
Just don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, just don't hire any young blonde administrative assistants. Just
If you get an overeager,
sorry, Molly,
fanboy Michigan fan.
I thought you were just going to say don't hire blondes in general, and I was about to be like, oh.
No, I have no problem with blondes.
Okay.
Natural or
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No. Whatever, to each their own.
But don't get an overeager guy that just graduated from the Naval Academy that's been a fan of Michigan all his life that has a what was it that he came out with?
The manifesto.
Mm-hmm. And he's offering to help you gain a competitive advantage in games. Probably stay away from that. If it's not your username or password, don't use it on a Michigan computer.
I mean, do we not all agree that hiring Sharon Moore to begin with was a question mark? Not because of anything like off the field. I'm just talking about just in general, his football prowess.
And caught
Is it because
some
he
people
cried?
by surprise.
Is it because he cried when he won that game? Remember, it was because he was the guy, right?
Yeah.
He's the one that was booing. I think they beat Maryland or somebody, and we miss you.
I don't remember who
Coach
they beat, but
Harbaugh.
I do remember the cry.
Yeah. And it was like, boom, those people. Portland Wing Company, they just was like, oh, yeah, hire him immediately.
Dick Vermeil, he cried a little bit back in his day.
He did.
Won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
Let's go to Gordy. He wants to talk Heisman real quick. Hey, Gordy, welcome in.
Hey guys, thank you for taking my call. So I wanted to talk about the very interesting dichotomy between Diego Pavia and Fernando Mendoza. Earlier in the season, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really like Mendoza, mostly because I didn't want to like him. He's an Indiana quarterback, but I think the more he talks, the more I do like him, and seems like a good kid. And I thought it was interesting, too. It looked at least like he memorized his speech. I didn't see a piece of paper up there. Did you guys see one?
I didn't. No,
I didn't either.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting, too. But, yeah, very, very seems like very different personalities and leadership styles between him and Pavia. But I wanted to, of all the four guys up there, if you guys were a brand new head coach and you were going to start a team, which one of the four guys would you, if you could only pick one, which one would you pick? I want to hang up and listen.
appreciate the phone call.
For me, it's Jeremiah Love.
I'll take the running back.
I'd probably go Diego Pavia if I'm starting a program.
You could definitely play him in multiple positions, probably.
Yeah, but also just his personality. I think you need that, especially when trying to establish a culture. Not that Mendoza's bad, don't get me wrong there, but I think Diego would be good for that, kind of setting the tone of things to come.